Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to all of you. This is Bipasha Chatterjee, Assistant Professor in the Department of Psychology, Adamas University. And I will be discussing about one very important topic, which is very relevant also in the workplace setup, which definitely is an area of applied psychology and a part of the industrial psychology and organizational behavior. And the topic that I'm going to discuss today is recruitment and selection, which is a very important uh, job of an IO psychologist, of the management, to keep in mind that a right man for the right job is extremely essential for uh, the proper and smooth functioning of the organization, as well as the giving a platform to the employee whom I am uh, selecting, and finally I am giving or offering the position to that employee, so that the employee also gets the scope for development to become more efficient and to become more competent as a whole. So I'll just share the screen, and we'll just begin with the discussion. All right, I'll just come to the first slide. Yes. All right. So basically, as we all know, that recruitment and selection is extremely an important activity, because if we are not considering the right man for the right job, then of course the organization is going to suffer in terms of lower productivity, and in terms of uh, not being able to, you know not being able to fulfill the duties and responsibilities that the organization has towards its stakeholders. So it is an extremely important task, where we are, or we in the sense IO psychologists, where they basically focus on the personnel selection process, which is recruitment and selection is a part of that. So the broader context is personnel selection, and personnel selection is actually the process where we hire or promote individuals. Not only it is always hiring from outside, but even promotion within the organization is important, and it is included in this process as well. And this recruitment or this personnel selection is the process where we are inviting people to come and apply for a particular job, where the job descriptions, the job specifications are already mentioned, and the organization welcomes employees or people who are eligible, those people to come and apply for that particular job, in the sense. So basically, personnel selection is the topic that we are discussing, and at the same time, we are also focusing on some different aspects of recruitment and selection, which is again a part of personnel selection, one of the stages of personnel selection. Now, if before we move on to what recruitment and selection is about, so we will talk about three head three headings which are important, which needs to be understood while we are discussing about personnel selection. The first one is job analysis, which again has job analysis methods and job analysis procedure. Next, we have recruitment, where we will be discussing about the methods of recruitment and process of recruitment, and then selection approaches, selection procedures. Now, job analysis. Now, as I said, the very first step towards personnel selection is recruitment. Now, recruitment is what? Why is recruitment required? Now, recruitment is something where we are identifying prospective employees and we are encouraging them to apply for that particular job. Okay. And it is, of course, since we are inviting people, it's a positive action, and it is involved. It involves inviting and encouraging people, eligible people, to come and apply for that particular job. So basically, the purpose of this whole recruitment process is to have a list of eligible people, and amongst whom we will be having the selection process, which will basically narrow down the people or the person whom we are going to take in for that particular job. So that is what recruitment is about. Now, for the process of recruitment, like in order to understand key what is required and what what kind of information is required, or what kind of capable competencies and what kind of skills are required uh, for doing a particular job, because then only in that way only we are going to send out the invitations. Okay, these are the criteria that is required for this particular job, the tasks that need to be done, the what you call, if you break down you know what a job is basically. So it has tasks, the basic units of work. So you are describing what tasks need to be done, what position is given to you. It's a set of tasks performed together. And then these kind of positions, they give you a cluster of these positions, give you the form of a job. So basically, what it is required, what tasks are required, what position is given to the person, all these things are listed down before we are sending out the advertisements or sending out the information ki yes, please come and apply for the particular job. So for that reason, what we need is, we need a thorough description or thorough understanding of what a job is, or what are the requirements of that particular job, right? So before we move on to recruitment and selection, job analysis is required. Now, job analysis is something where we are focusing on the detailed information about a particular job. So basically, it's a process where we are identifying and determining the details of a particular job duties and responsibilities and requirements, and the importance of those duties, why that needs to be done. So basically, it is an important step where to move ahead with the personnel selection process, because here job analysis actually helps the employer, whoever is the employer over there, or the management people. It helps them to in the recruitment process, because it is giving them the criteria that is required, the job description, okay, what are the duties and responsibilities needs to be done, what are the skills and competencies that needs to be done, the job specifications, what basic qualities or what basic skills that are required to perform this particular job, what are the requirements that the individual employee needs to have in order to perform that particular job with efficiency and competence. So that is why the information that we get from job analysis is so important for the recruitment process, right? So now there are many ways in which we can get information about a particular job. We can have questionnaire methods, we can have checklist method, interview methods, interviewing people who are actually doing the work, observation interview methods. So basically, if I am the job analyst, I will perform the work along with my fellow employees, and I will be gathering information, and I will be at the same time I will be interviewing the person who is at work, on the work, and from there I'll be able to get first-hand information from the person as well. Technical conference method, referring asking experts, referring to the anecdotes that experts share in that field. Diary method, work participation method, critical incident method. So these are some of the ways in which we can get a detailed idea or detailed information about a particular job, which actually helps us IO psychologists or the management in order to understand what are the requirements of the particular job. In that way, they are going to uh, put benchmarks while they are inviting people for recruitment. Now, job analysis procedure, if we go on to job analysis procedure, it can be task oriented procedure, it can be work oriented procedure, whichever we want to choose as and when it is required. Now, task procedures are basically, those type of procedures which are used in job analysis, where it seeks to understand a job by examining the tasks that are performed in that particular job. So basically, it answers the question: what is accomplished, what is done in that particular job, people who are in that particular job. So this process, it begins with the job duties and responsibilities and functions, basically what job description talks about. And this procedure was actually uh, is it actually talks about the task statements, right? So these are task oriented procedures, like you can name one, I can name one, like functional job analysis. Functional job analysis, it was developed, this technique was developed by Fine and his associates in the 1980s. And here basically it talks about what a worker does, the procedures and the processes engaged in this whole process of the job, and also how a task is performed. Okay, so basically what are my duties and responsibilities, and how am I going to perform them? So the procedure as well as the number of tasks are also giving us information. So then again, I will be having information about the people, the data, and the things. So these are the three notable characteristics of functional job analysis. And when we are talking about tasks that require involvement with people, it there is involvement of personal resources, like when you are building interpersonal relationships, like people who are in managerial position, people who are in the customer care service. So they have to deal with people, so they have to have a strong sense of compassion, sensitivity, in order to focus on the interpersonal relationships that you have with your stakeholders, with your co-workers, and so on and so forth. When any task which is dealing with data, so that is, the worker needs mental resources, like knowledge, reasoning, the cognitive, basically the involvement of the cognition of the person. So this is important. And again, when the tasks are they are related to things, then that is where what kind of resources do you need in order to accomplish the task. So it can be physical, it can be physical in the sense, like the physical resources, the strength, coordination, infrastructure, and all those things. uh, if any machines or techniques that you have to use, that is there. And at the same time, there are these three dimensions, basically the people, the data, and the things. They actually make up the whole functional job analysis, and based on that, it gives us an information as to what is the requirement of the job. Then finally the recruitment process begins, right? So moving on to the recruitment part. So from job analysis, we are getting all the information as to what is required to perform that particular job. And finally, we are ready for the recruitment part in the job analysis, in the personal selection process. So recruitment part again, uh, it's a process where, you are uh, actually inviting people. As I said earlier, you are inviting people, suitable candidates who are eligible for that particular job. And then again, that eligibility is based on the report that I get as a result of job analysis uh, that was done previously. So of course, it can be from inside the organization, okay, like in cases of promotions or something, or it can be someone from outside as well, through campusing, through advertisement that are circulated in social media or any kind of print media and electronic media. And you have agencies as well. You have agencies who actually look out for, these opportunities, who actually, there are these um contacts that people have. These are what is important, which are the connecting dots between the organization and the employees. And they, send out, they help in this recruitment process as well. Like, you have these public or state employment agencies. Then you have the third party method, where you have these private employment agencies, um, executive search agencies, which often help in bringing in suitable candidates to the organization as well, right? Okay, so this is what recruitment process is about, as I said earlier. Now, there are two methods of recruitment, two ways in which we can, recruit or, bring in people. So we have internal recruitment, where we are talking about promotions and transfers. We are talking about internal job postings, it can be, employee referrals. So in reference to one, I can say that, yes, okay, this person A is quite eligible for your project work. You can take this person. Okay. External recruitment processes, like, job advertisements, campus recruitments, recruitment agencies, social media. So these are the ways in which we can, invite people in order to come and appear for the interview, for the selection process. And so next we have the process of recruitment. Okay, so the process of recruitment, it involves several steps. So basically, these are the steps that are required, like identifying the needs for recruitment. Why is it required? Why a person is required for that particular job position? Job analysis and description, I've said. Sourcing candidates, of course, where you are inviting people to apply for the particular job based on the characteristics, job characteristics and the job descriptions we get from job analysis. And screening and shortlisting, where the person actually goes through a set of rounds in the selection process, where various activities are conducted: interview, psychometric testing. Use of psychological tests are very prominent nowadays in these kind of recruitments and selection processes. And at the same time, we also have referral checking. We have the physical examination. In many jobs, you do require physical fitness. So that is something that is required. And we have this evaluation selection process, offer, negotiation, onboard. So very briefly, this is the selection procedure that we are talking about, the process of recruitment. So next, we have the next step of personnel selection we have is the selection process. Selection is basically where you are selection is basically where the organization is examining the applicants, examining the candidates with regard to their suitability for that particular job. Okay, so choosing the best from the whole lot and rejecting others. So it is a process which is not such a very welcoming process. It's a negative process because it is also involving rejection and removal of candidates from the um, circle, actually. So this is what selection process is. And here, whoever qualifies the various hurdles that are there, like initial screening interview, application scrutiny. So whatever application you have given, whatever documentations you have given, scrutiny of all that, selection tests, as I said, that use of psychometric testing, use of psychological tests like, achievement intelligence tests, aptitude or potential ability tests, personality tests, and so these interest tests, these are very much used nowadays in order to, get an understanding, the psychological aspect as well, understanding as to what the person's overall disposition might be. So we have interview, of course, formal, planned, patterned, non-directed interview, depth interview, stress interview, and various kinds of interviews are conducted as well. Physical examination is required because, as I said, that there are many jobs where, you um, require fitness, and it also gives an indication regarding the fitness of the candidate who has appeared, who has applied for the particular job. And whatever, if there is any discrepancy or sorry, disabilities or something, then it can be there for record. Even when we go for these, we join an organization or something, often the organization asks for your fitness certificate or something. So even if anything happens to the employee, at work, at least the organization will know what to do instantly. So these because of these reasons, you have these physical checkups and all that. So selection process, again, it involves sorting of applicants for the vacant job and elimination of those applicants who don't fit in that particular, for that particular job. And yes, it is not a very pleasant activity that is carried out, and that is why it is negative in nature. This is one difference between recruitment and selection, because recruitment is basically where you are inviting people to come and apply, you are welcoming people. But selection is the next stage where you are eliminating people and trying to select the right man for the right job. All right, now when we are talking about selection process and all that, there are three approaches which we often use while we are planning out the whole selection procedure. Like the successive hurdle approach, that is one approach where applicant who can jump over each step or hurdle will very likely receive a job offer. That means what? The person will, when the person qualifies each and every stage that is there, each and every step, or each and every hurdle that is there, we are clearing the written exam, then moving on to the group discussion round, then qualifying for the personal interview round, and then finally the HR round, and this and that. So it's basically, there are certain sets of activities that are placed in front of the person, placed in front of the individual. And so once you jump over each of these activities, you qualify each of these activities, finally you are most likely to receive the job offer. Next one is the compensatory approach. Here, basically, this approach allows candidates to overcome shortcomings in one critical area by possessing other positive qualities to compensate for or make up for qualities they lack. So that means what? If I am not good in one thing, but I have another area which is which is my strong point. Okay, so it might be that I might not have uh, you know what can I say, especially I can tell you in academic selections and recruitments and all, in academic organizations. So many a times what happens, people who have years of work experience uh, over a certain degree, so we often, often those people are also offered job, because even though they are not, right now they are not possessing that one particular degree, but they have qualified the basic degree that requires to be a teacher or a professor, and also that person has a handsome number of years to his or her experience bunch. So that is how compensatory approach is required. So if in that case I am selecting that particular person, then I am focusing on the compensatory approach. Okay, and the third one is the combined approach, where it means that the control of discharges and emissions into surface waters based on best available techniques. So basically most of the recruitment and selection procedures actually follow this approach, where you are uh, you know uh, asking the candidate to qualify the various steps or stages, and finally coming to the final round. At the same time, you are also considering the positive points that the individual has um, against any one of the shortcomings. Okay, so by this manner we can go for the various selection procedures. And as I said, we have psychometric testing nowadays, physical examination, interview, of course, interview, structured, unstructured. So kind of just go with the flow, as and when whatever question answering part is done. So in this way, what happens, we are focusing on the recruitment and procedure. And then the third, after recruitment and selection, finally when we are ready with the candidate's name, with for whom we are having that particular job, we are going for the placement part. So placement is basically where we are determining the job for which a selected candidate is best suited, and we are finally assigning the job to that person. So ideal situation, of course, as I said in the very beginning of this video, that right man for the right job. So basically this placement, the proper placement of a worker, it actually helps a lot. That is why this personnel selection process is highlighted so much nowadays. It is given that importance key. It is so necessary to place a suitable man, the right man for the right job, because it reduces employee turnover, reduces accidents, it reduces absenteeism, improves productivity, morale, and motivation to work. Because if I you know if I'm taken and dropped in a place where I have no idea what I am doing, it is not helping me, it is not helping myself to do something to feel accomplished, feel full. There is no enrichment in my job or something, I'm not getting any scope to utilize my knowledge and competencies, then of course that is not the right place for that particular person. So that is why placement finally, which we do after the selection part, is where we are determining the job to the suitable candidate. And finally, we have induction. Induction is something where we are introducing after placement, we are offering the job to the person and everything. And induction is basically where I'm introducing the employee to the job and to the organization. So the main purpose of induction or orientation, we also call it orientation or indoctrination. So the main purpose of this induction part is basically you are showing off your company, showing off the job to the person, okay, whoever with whom you have recruited. So that is what to the new employee, you are showing off your organization to the new employee, and it's more like welcoming the person into the family. So basically, when we talk about recruitment and selection, these two are very important integral parts of the whole personnel selection process, where we are hiring people for, and usually we are following the right man for the right job policy. Okay, so this is how we go for the selection and recruitment process. And as I said, it is absolutely essential. These two processes are absolutely essential, and very sincerely they need to be conducted by professionals and experts, because it is actually helping the organization to build a qualified and motivated workforce. Because human resource, the people, your employees working in the organization, are the backbones of any organization. So without them, the organization is nothing. So that is why it is, building that qualified and motivated workforce, and ultimately it is contributing to the growth and success of the organization, as well as you are giving a platform for your employees as well to uh, go for self development, self exploration, and at the same time competency, enhancing your own competence and efficiency as well. Okay, so this is all about recruitment and procedure in brief. I hope I could make these concepts simple, and uh, I could simply explain what these basic topics are and why they are important in organizational setup. So this is something that I wanted to discuss, and that's it from personnel and selection video, and hope to come up with such interesting videos in future as well. Thank you so much.